Hey y'all, I'm JamesWright, and welcome to Wizards News. I am going to be talking about data today. That's right, this is the one you've all been waiting for. We're going to be talking about what Foundables you can find, at what level in which fortress, and which runestone do you need to use, because it looks like we might finally have enough data to get pretty darn close to where this is. So let's dive in, because this is going to be cool. So this is a bit of a warning to those of you who are spreadsheet squeamish. You may want to look away because we're going to be looking at a whole lot of spreadsheets today. Also, as a heads up, you might want to stay till the end because we are going to be opening up an actual chocolate frog with a pentagonal card inside. This should be a fun one for the end of the video. So with all that being said, let's go over to the spreadsheets. Here is one that has been worked on for a long time. And you can see down here at the bottom, they have all of these other tabs with data. I've done a little bit on this, but this has mostly been a few particular people who've been collecting information on this. There's actually several people on the Hive Mind who've been working on this, as well as on several other Discords. A bunch of people have been diving information into this, and we'll get to some names here at the end. But this is an incredible amount of information. The amount of data points in this are just mind-blowing. But this page here, this is talking about challenge foundables. So the foundables that you always get whenever you do a challenge. What level do you get which foundable? And these are very evenly spaced out. And all of this data comes together and it's very clear cut that you only get certain foundables in certain locations. So if you come up here and you're looking at most potency potions, you're trying to find that particular one, you're going to want to go to runes number 2. You have a really high chance there. Yes, you might find it in 1, 3, or 4, but you're going to be having a better luck in runes 2. On some of these, the data isn't quite as clear, like the standard book of spells. Yeah, you're probably going to find it in runes 1 more, but you might find it in runes 2. So we're still collecting more data because there is a ton of data that has to come in to make this happen. But this will give you a really good idea. If you're looking for something, this is where you're going to find it. A bunch of people have been asking about the magical devices because you would expect those to come right down here, but no, the magical devices don't come until the high forests, low darks. So those are over here, and then we can come on down farther into these, and you can see where this all comes out. So your wands are all down here in your high dark chambers. So if you're looking for a fortress foundable, this is where you want to go. And all of these spreadsheets I'm going to be talking about, the links are down in the description. All that information and data is down there as well. This is an incredible amount. So that being fine for your fortress foundables, what about your family foundables? What about the exploration foundables that you're trying to get but you don't always get? This next sheet actually goes through all of the family foundables and tries to lay down where you're going to be finding them. Are you going to have a better chance of finding a family foundable in runes or tower or fortress or dark? Are you going to have a better drop rate in one or the other? The other thing this sheet will do is it will compare how common the different foundables are. So if you're using a Care of Magical Creatures runestone over here, you're going to be getting the Winged Horse, Hagrid's Hut, or the Puffskin. And the odds are pretty well split, 26, 21, 23. That's about what you're going to be getting. It's pretty average where you're going to be finding them. So if you use that runestone and you do get one of the family, it's going to be a relatively even split between them. Now, I know in some of these you're looking at them and saying, wow, there's a high chance here. If I'm looking for the Hagrid's Hut, I need to go to Forest 5. Well, no, that's actually just in comparison to the Winged Horse and the Puffskin. And the reason Puffskin hasn't come here is because not a lot of people do Forest 5. There just isn't a whole lot of data on this one yet. And in all honesty, looking at these numbers, there isn't anything standing out that, if you're looking for Puffskin, you should do this tower. And that holds pretty true across all the numbers. So if you are looking for any individual item, you're probably going to be out of luck. It looks like they're pretty evenly split across all of the chambers and levels. So if you're using a runestone, you're not going to get a specific foundable at different locations. They're all pretty even all the way across the board. So it doesn't matter which level you do if you're looking for a particular foundable. Now, where it does come into interest is the chance of actually getting that foundable to drop. So we come down here to the bottom, and this is an overall of everything here. If you are in runes level 1, you're going to have somewhere around a 50% chance that you're actually going to get a foundable, which is a little bit higher than I was expecting. In some of my past, I found it to be closer to 25%, but that was just my one data point. This is a ton of data going into this. And then you go all the way up here to Dark 5. And Dark 5, you have a 100% return rate. So if you are doing Dark 5, you will be getting a family foundable. And you can see it's a fairly even spread all the way down. It doesn't like jump at each of the changes. So If you're looking for a family foundable, the suggestion is go as high as you can and use the highest runestone you can. The higher your difficulty, the higher the chance you're going to be getting one of the foundables you're looking for. Just understand that if you are using magical games and sports, you're going to be getting one of these 4. And if you come over here and you look at the numbers, they're all relatively close. So your chance of getting a Quidditch pitch stands as opposed to the Tri-Wizards Cup, it's going to be an even split between those 4 of which one you get on the level. It's just how high you go in the tower determines your chance of actually getting one of those 4. Next, we want to move over to the runes level drop rate. And so this is actually comparing the runes level. So we have our levels of fortress as well as our runes that we used in this way. So it's actually come down to this chart, which has the percentages here. So we can compare the tower level to the rune that we used, and we come over here and you might notice that these are like 100, 100, 100, and this one's 94. So you do have a 100% chance rate in Dark 5 that you will be getting one. But it does look that if you use a higher runestone, you're going to be getting a higher chance. So your runestone does affect your chance of getting a foundable. It won't affect which foundable you get, but it will affect your chance of actually getting one of those foundables. So it does appear that it depends on the difficulty of the chamber, not on the actual chamber or runestone. The more difficult the chamber is, the higher the chance that you're going to be getting one of the family foundables. So let me give you an idea of where all this data comes from, why I say it is so much. Here is all the raw data, and each one of these lines is one fortress battle. And so you can see when was it done, the chamber it was done, the runestone that was used, the runes level, was it done in a group, how many teammates, all of this information, its actual difficulty. I mean, this is an incredible amount of information that people have been collecting on each of these. So you can see here, Nighthound, he has done a ton of this. Kamshi here has done a lot on here, has especially been active on the Hive Mind. So you can see how many people have been adding to this. And so now we're down into the thousands, and we're keeping on going. Let's skip ahead here and go on down. Yeah, there is a ton of data going into this. I mean, so far, 2,800 lines have been added with all of this information. Absolutely incredible. So my hat's off to everyone who's involved with this. This is great, and it's needed this much to even get a close idea of what levels provide what chances. So yeah, thank you for everyone who has been putting data into this. This is huge. So let's recap that and go at this again. If you are looking for a challenge foundable, different levels will determine which challenge foundable you get. Apparently the runestones don't have a huge amount of effect in that, but what level you go to in the fortress will determine which one you're going for. So if you're looking for a particular challenge foundable, make sure you're in the right level for it so that you can zero in on that. If you're always doing the same level, you're never going to be prestiging pages because you're only going to be focusing on a small portion of all of them in that page. Number 2, if you are going after family foundables, it doesn't matter what level you do, other than the higher the level, the higher the runestone, the better the chance you're actually going to get one. But actually zeroing in on a particular foundable like Hagrid's Hut, you're not going to have a better chance of getting Hagrid's Hut in Dark 2 as opposed to, Forest 3. It's pretty even all the way across the board. Since we're on the subject of spreadsheets, I want to take you over here and talk about gifts. We've gotten a bit more information on that. This is the spreadsheet that we made earlier here on the Hive Mind, and with the data we've brought in now is a little over 3,000 gifts that we have recorded. The statistics and everything has stayed the same, though the numbers have zeroed in and become a little bit more standardized. So if you want to see this, I'll leave a link to this one down below. But with all of this research being done, a bunch of people have been asking, well, what are the actual chances of getting one from an inn, a fortress, or a greenhouse? And for that, there has been a lot of work going over on the Harry Potter Wizards Unite Discord page. It's one of the main pages for everyone with Wizards Unite. So let me take you over to this spreadsheet, and this is what we're looking at, our inns here. So at a particular inn, do you have a better chance of getting one at a green inn as opposed to a blue, a pink, or a sponsored? And there really isn't enough data yet to say that. I mean, it's starting to maybe look like you get better ones at the pink and brown, at the purple and brown, and then you get lesser ones at the green. But these numbers are all so close that you really can't pull any data from that. And it's looking like it's pretty even across the board. The return rate, as you can see over here, is right on 50-50. So about half the time at an inn, you're going to be getting one. That might be skewed a little bit by people who find a good one and sit on that inn, because they do change once an hour. So whatever you're getting right now, you'll be getting that every time you go to that inn during this hour, and at the end of the hour, it'll switch over and give you something new. So keep an eye on that. If you're getting an extravagant gift, you might want to hang around that inn, because everything you go on that inn is going to give you an extravagant gift until the hour turns over. If we come over here to greenhouses, you can see that basically what we're looking at here is your percentage of getting something as opposed to not getting something. In particular, 36% chance you're going to get a regular ingredients gift, and then it goes down to around 5% for the Dwell Drop Peruvios, and Stimulos a little bit higher, though that might just be odds. And then the extravagant and potent Stimulo is around 2.5 to 3%. So those are pretty rare when you're going to a greenhouse. But then down here, it's about a 40% chance you don't get anything. So it seems like greenhouses give a little bit more, about 60% of the time, as opposed to inns, which are about 50% of the time, which makes sense because there are less greenhouses out there. So that's kind of interesting. Also, if you want to go and be a part of this research, you can come here to the global Harry Potter Wizards Unite Discord page. They have a link to it down here. And then we can come over here into the fortresses, and we want to see, do you get a better chance of getting a rare gift going deeper into a fortress or using a higher runestone? So here they're tracking all the things from the level of the fortress as well as the runestones. So this is all the sponsored gifts, these are all the essential gifts, these are all the extravagant gifts. And honestly, in the end, there isn't quite enough data yet to pull the strings and say, yes, you're going to be getting it. But right now, it's looking like there really isn't any difference. If you go higher into a fortress, there isn't a better chance of getting the extravagant gift. There might turn out to be that in the future, but as of right now, it's looking pretty even all the way across the board. You get about the same amounts for getting your low levels as you would for getting your high levels. So no, you don't have a better chance right now, but this may change in the future as we get more information. And then they have this whole sheet again for the non-sponsored fortresses, and again we're seeing about the same information for non-sponsored fortresses. You're really not going to be getting much of anything better going higher in the fortress, but again, we were just on the beginning of getting enough information. This is something we're going to need a lot of data points to really narrow in on what all would we actually get for this. I know this has been a very spreadsheet heavy video. There is a crazy amount of detail going on in this, and I'm leaving links to all of these data sheets down below. Definitely take a look at it and crunch into the numbers. There's some cool things coming out of it, and it looks like we're starting to get some clear answers. So I'm looking forward to seeing these in the future and where they go. Also, if you want to be a part of the conversation, you can join the research group on the Harry Potter Wizards Unite Discord page, as well as on the Wizards News Hivemind group. There's a link to both of those in the description below, and we are doing a good bit of research in different locations, and I'm really liking where this is going. So all that being said, I hope you liked all the data and information. I'm trying to do these whenever possible, and we're going to be having a good bit of fun in the future. For those of you in the United States, I hope you're going to have fun on Thanksgiving tomorrow, or if you're watching this today, happy Thanksgiving. To those of you in the rest of the world, may you have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays for everything that's coming up. So I think that's about it for today, and until next time, have a magical day. Okay, you have stayed through a ton of math, and it is time for your reward. And I thought this was actually sent to me by the Minister of Magic, a surprise gift from a Secret Santa. Whoever sent this to me, thank you. I thought it would be great since tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and we do a massive feast. Let us open one of these chocolate frogs. And if you haven't seen, these are the official chocolate frogs that you can usually only get at the official Harry Potter locations. And they are the full pentagonal with a full pentagonal card inside. And inside you actually get this massive honking chocolate frog. It's like 5 ounces of pure milk chocolate. Gonna have to have the kids help me with that. But then we also get one Pentagonal Wizards card. And we got, ooh, Rowena Ravenclaw. I don't have hers in the pentagonal form. There you go, Rowena Ravenclaw. You can see how she's moving in the background there. I love these cards. They are really cool.